Now, Chelsea stumbled against Everton before Christmas. Can they pick themselves up on Boxing Day when they host Fulham? We can join James Lewin, who's just been leading the questions of Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca. Hi there. Maresca he's consistently denied Chelsea a title contenders. We sometimes see managers doing that to protect their players. Do you get the feeling that's what's happening here? Does he really not believe?
That's the kind of question I put to him, Hayley, really, about that. And, yeah, look, you look at the table and he's 4 points off Liverpool, who are top of the table. So you look at it and you think they are in a title race, really, I suppose. And you look at where they were at Christmas last year as well. They were 13 points less off and, nowhere near it in 10th place. So the progression they've had in the last 12 months has been pretty staggering, and the work that Enzo Maresca has done has been incredible, really. But he's spoken about the fact that his team hasn't really felt pressure yet. They've not really had that sort of sticky spell where they've come under any sort of serious pressure. And that was one of the things he mentioned to me in his press conference earlier.
It's not, I said already that it's not about the pressure for the players or for the club or for me. It's just, for me, the reality. It's not about the pressure. I would like to have that kind of a pressure, and hopefully soon we can have that kind of pressure. But the reason why I said we are not there is because, for me, the reality is that we are not there. But we see game after game. The main point for us is to continue to improve and to continue to try to win games.
So, James, if Chelsea do beat Fulham, it'll actually be their longest unbeaten run for almost 4 years. What's behind the early success that Maresca's had?
I think he obviously always talks about taking things game to game, and yeah, his record's great. His record's brilliant against Fulham. The fact that Fulham haven't beaten Chelsea at the Bridge for a very long time, since the 60s, just shows how confident you think Chelsea fans will be going into that one, and the fact they won 5 Premier League games in a row before that stalemate at Everton. But he obviously talked about how positive that result was as well, because they found it really difficult at Goodison Park in recent years, Chelsea. So his side really sort of showed us something a bit different. And that was one of the things he said in his post-press conference after that match, that he was really happy with his team defensively, the way the goalkeeper Sanchez performed, and also at the back, the defenders were very strong as well. And yeah, that is his approach, I think, Enzo Maresca, is just taking each game as it comes and putting more points on the board.
We said many times that we are ahead of our expectation in terms of the way we are playing and in terms of points. But as I always said, for us the main focus is just to see how we can improve the players and how we can, game by game, improve the team.
And so Boxing Day is their next match, and Chelsea will be feeling fairly confident they can get 3 points there. You look at their next few games as well. They've got a couple of away trips, one to Ipswich, a couple of home games against Bournemouth and Wolves in January before they take on the champions Manchester City. So Chelsea on Christmas Day probably feeling quite festive and quite happy about their position, and looking forward to a West London derby on Boxing Day.
James, thank you.